Hello children, this is class 10th, subject English, and this is my revision lecture. Today we are going to revise tenses and modal auxiliaries. Topics to be covered today. In beginning we shall discuss tenses, in which we shall discuss present tense, past tense and future tense. After that we shall read once again modal auxiliaries, and at last we shall discuss conditional sentences. So let us begin with tenses. So the first topic is tenses. So let us start. So let us begin with tenses. There are mainly three kinds of tenses: present, past and future. And further, these three kinds are divided into four heads. These are indefinite, continuous, perfect and perfect continuous. And these four heads are having these types of sentences: affirmative, interrogative, negative and interrogative negative. So we can say the tense is the form of verb which denotes the time of an action and its degree of completeness. So present, past and future, these are the main three kinds of tenses. Each of three tenses has four forms. These are the indefinite tense. This doesn't indicate whether the action is complete or not. Next is the continuous, means imperfect tense, that the action is still going on. Then next is the perfect tense. It indicates that the action is complete, finished or perfect. Next is the perfect continuous tense. This indicates that the action began in the past and still continuing. Let us have a look at this table of tenses. There are mainly three kinds of tenses: present, past and future. And further there are four heads: indefinite, continuous, perfect and perfect continuous. In present indefinite, as one verb is given, play or plays, means we use first form of the verb plus s or es. With third person singular, we use s or es with the first form of the verb in present indefinite tense. In past indefinite tense, we use second form of the verb, past form of the verb. As for example, it is given played. Past form of play is played. Then future indefinite tense. In future indefinite tense, we use will or shall plus first form of the verb. As one example is given here, will or shall plus play. Then continuous. In continuous, we use present continuous tense is mr plus ing form of the verb. In past continuous, we use was or were plus ing form of the verb. In future continuous, we use will or shall plus be plus ing form of the verb. This is continuous. After that, perfect. Present perfect, first of all, we use has or have plus third form of the verb, as it is given has or have plus played. Then in past perfect, we use had plus third form of the verb. In future perfect, we use will or shall plus have plus third form of the verb. In perfect continuous tense, we use, in present perfect continuous tense, we use has or have plus been plus ing form of the verb, as it is written here. Has or have been playing. In past, we use had been plus ing form of the verb, means had been playing. In future continuous tense, we use will or shall have been plus ing form of the verb, as it is written here. will or shall plus have been plus playing. So these are the structures of all three tenses along with four heads. Let us understand these with the help of some examples. Here are some examples. First is the earth revolves around the sun. This is universal fact. That's why we have used here revolves. That is simple present or present indefinite tense. Then she wakes up early in the morning daily. This is a routine and habit. That's why we have used here present indefinite tense, wakes up. Next is he is trying hard to complete the degree. So this is present continuous tense. The action is going on. I have not yet taken my lunch. Yet is used and the action is for completed action we use present perfect tense. Then I have not been speaking to her for 2 weeks. This is present perfect continuous action started in the past and in present it is going on. He admired the poetry of Shakespeare. Admired. This is past indefinite tense. He had been playing hockey for 2 hours. So this is had been playing. Means past continuous, past perfect continuous tense. He will take the final exam next month. This is future indefinite. She will be baking pies for her children. The action will be going on in the future. So future continuous tense is used. The farmer will have been sowing crops since November. This is future perfect continuous tense. He will have been painting this house since morning. This is the same future perfect continuous tense. Last one is Tom will have completed his graduation degree by the end of this year. This is future perfect tense. So these are some examples of all tenses. Now let us talk about verbs. There are two kinds of verbs, main verbs and auxiliaries. Auxiliaries means helping verbs, and helping verbs or auxiliary verbs are divided into two parts, primary auxiliaries and modal auxiliaries. In primary auxiliaries we have to be, to do and to have, and further they are divided. To be is divided into these parts, am, is, are, was, were, and in to do we have does, do, did, and in to have we have has, have and had. And today the next topic that today we are going to revise is modals. Modal auxiliaries. These are shall, will, should, would, may, might, can, could, must, ought to, need, dare and used to. So let us read what are modals. Main modal verbs. These are can, could, may, might, must, shall, will, should, ought to and would. So modal auxiliaries are used to show possibility, ability, permission and obligation. They do not change their forms according to the number and person of the subject. They are always followed by the present form of the verb, means first form of the verb. Now which modal verb to use? For ability or potential we can use can, could, be able to, and for possibility and permission also we can use can, could and may and might. For request and suggestions we have might, and even for polite request we use would and could. Expectations or probability, for this we use should, ought to. Inference in logical conclusion we have must and can't. For prediction we use shall or will. For advice and recommendation also we use shall, should, ought, had better. Then for obligation and necessity we use must, mustn't, have to. And if there is absence of obligation and necessity, we use need not or not have to. Now let us discuss some modal auxiliaries with some examples and their function. First of all, will. Examples are, I'll give you a call on Monday. So it is expressing here promise. I'll take these books with me. It is a instant decision. We will book our tickets if you like. It is an offer. We will see an increase in salaries next year. Certain prediction. So will is used for promise, instant decision, offer, and certain prediction. Then would. Examples are, would you mind if I opened the window? It is used for asking for permission. Then would you make me a coffee or would you prepare a cup of coffee for me? It is request. It is polite request. Would is used for polite request. Would you be available at 6 p.m. tonight? Making arrangements. Would you like to go out sometime? It is an invitation. Would you prefer the window seat or not? So here it is used for preferences. Then shall I get the phone? Now shall example, shall I get the phone or will you? Asking what to do. Shall I call a cab? It is an offer. Shall we say 9 p.m. at Amy's then? It is a kind of suggestion. Then should. Should is used for advice, recommendation, recommending action for uncertain prediction. Examples are given here. You should see a doctor. You don't look well. So it is an advice. We should get a specialist. Then salaries should go up next year. Then ought to. You ought to go to the dentist before you leave. It is an advice. Then must. Examples are, I must leave now to catch my train. Or you mustn't ask too many questions. So for obligation, necessity, and in second example, prohibition is expressed. So these are some examples of modal auxiliaries and their functions are also described. Then here are some more modal auxiliaries with examples and functions. Can. First of all, can is given. Can is used for expressing ability, permission, possibility, and request. For ability, when example is given, Pat can ride a horse means he is able to ride a horse. Then for permission, can I come tomorrow? Then for possibility, it can be possible. Then for request, can I have a Coke please? So these are the uses of can. And could. Could is used for past ability. Pat could come yesterday. So it is past ability. Then it is also used for permission. Could I open the door? It is used for polite request also. Could I borrow your car? And it is also used for possibility. It could be Peter. So these are the functions of could. Then must and mustn't. Must is used for obligation or necessity. You must be here at 7. Mustn't, it is used for prohibition. You mustn't play with fire. Then should is used to express advice or recommendation. You should eat more fruit. Then may is used for permission and possibility. Examples are, may I come in? Or she may come with us. Might is used for permission and for little possibility, for less possibility. For permission, example is given, might I talk to you? And for possibility, I might go. There is very less possibility. Then have to and don't have to. Have to is used for obligation. You have to finish it now. Then don't have to, it is used to express lack of obligation. You don't have to do it. So these are modal auxiliaries. Now let us discuss conditional sentences. conditional sentences are of four kinds. There are mainly four kinds of conditional sentences. These are zero conditional, first conditional, second conditional, and third conditional. And these in these conditional sentences we use if clause. Here are four main types of if sentences in English, often called conditional sentences. These sentences are in two halves or in two clauses. First one, the if part, it is called if clause, and the other part where you can use words such as can, will, may, might, could, and would. These are called, this part is called main clause. So in conditional sentences, we use if clause and main clause. So let us discuss first zero conditional. In zero conditional, as I have already told you, we use two clauses, if clause and main clause. In if clause, we use if plus present simple or simple present, or we can say present indefinite tense. And in main clause, we use simple present or present indefinite. Means both side we use simple present. This is called zero conditional. Some examples are given here. If I oversleep, I miss the bus. If I miss the bus, I get late for school. If I am late for school, my teacher gets angry. Or there are many other examples also. Like if one buys a car, his family is happy. If you heat water, it boils. So in both clause we have used simple present. This is called zero conditional sentences. Next is first conditional. In this conditional sentence we use if plus present tense in if clause, and in main clause we use will or can or may or must plus first form of the verb. This is called first conditional. If examples are, if I go to London, I will see the Big Ben. So one side go verb is used. This is simple present. And in main clause is I will see the Big Ben. So here in main clause we have used will see. With will we have used first form of the verb. Then in next example, if I go to Buckingham Palace, I can take a photo of the royal guard. So if clause is given first, so in that clause we have used go verb, that is present tense, and in main clause we have used can take. With can we have used the verb take. In another sentence, if you go to London, you must look right before crossing a street. So these are some examples of first conditional, or there may be others like if I know the answer, I will tell you. If you buy the car, it will cost you 2 lakh rupees. So this is called first conditional. Now let us discuss second conditional. In second conditional, in if clause we use simple past or past indefinite tense, that is second form of the verb, and in main clause we use would or could or might plus first form of the verb. For example, if I were an astronaut, I would travel in a spaceship. So in if clause we have used were, that is simple past, and in main clause we have used would travel, would plus first form of the verb. Then another example, if I traveled in a spaceship, I would go to Mars. So here the verb traveled is used in if clause and would go is used in main clause. Then another example, if I went to Mars, I would meet a Martian. Then next, if I met a Martian, I wouldn't understand him. last sentence, if I didn't understand him, I would come back to the earth. So in last sentence also, past indefinite tense is used, didn't understand, and in main clause, would come is used. So this is second conditional sentence. Now let us discuss third. In third conditional sentences, in if clause we use past perfect tense, and in main clause we use would or could or might plus have plus past participle, means third form of the verb. So let us understand it with the examples. If I had studied hard, I would have passed my exams. If you had studied hard, you wouldn't have failed your exam. If you had passed your exam, you could have gone to the beach. If I had gone to the beach, I would have made sand castles. So in all sentences, see, in if clause, had plus third form is used, means past perfect tense is used. And in main clause, would have passed, wouldn't have failed, could have gone, would have made, means would or could or might can be used with have plus past participle, means have plus third form of the verb. So these are all conditional sentences. I hope you all have understood this. So now we have some examples to understand it more clearly. First one is, if it had rained, you would have gotten wet, or you would have gotten wet if it had rained. It can be written in both ways. If clause can be written in the beginning or at the end. Then you would have passed your exam if you had worked harder. So these are example of our third conditional sentence. Next is, if you want, I can go with you to the store. If you take the highway, you might hit traffic. If he likes cookies, you should bake some for him. If you wanted to avoid traffic, you could take the highway. If he ate all the cookies, you would have to bake more. So these are some examples of these conditional sentences. I hope you all have understood. Now homework. Your homework is to revise these grammar chapters and solve the assignment that is based on chapter 3rd of grammar, that is auxiliaries and modals, and chapter 6 tenses. And this revision assignment is uploaded in homework column on EdQuark site. So do solve this assignment and send me the snapshots on my ID. Thank you. If you like our videos, please press like button and subscribe our channel.